Alrighty, you guys. So, just get it out there. The beta is coming to an end. Within 24 hours, this is going to be done. So, I really need to get my voice across on just a few things, of course. So, we'll be talking about between the two boys, being Ichigo and Hitsugaya. I will briefly touch up on what is next for the game, and obviously global talk. I'll probably do that on another video just to, clean that up. Alright, so I'll let the game do its thing. So team comp wise, it is very awkward, but we're taking it for the power between the two boys, of course. Now, like I said, both the boys are good. In terms of with what they do, there is some form of similarities, which I will say upon me thinking on how these characters work. Because of course, obviously, Ichigo's the one that a lot of people have been utilizing the most, and really looking at Hitsugaya, I'm just like, I can sense the similarities when it comes to with how Ichigo operates. In terms of like enhancing his attack and whatnot, keeping up the offensive, having his attacks hit hard at certain stages. Those similarities are there, including giving in his dupes. Also, I will say that with the dupe system that Hitsugaya has, it's more so giving him more crits, as well as enhancing all of his attacks. Ichigo's dupes more so actually focus on his branch attacks, but obviously we know the reason for that is because this man is an absolute menace in terms of the amount of branch attacks that he actually gets. I'm just gonna focus on getting Aizen support, so we're just gonna keep rushing for that. So doesn't really matter what card we pick at this point, we're just gonna focus on getting that buff. But anyway, coming back to the two boys themselves. So yeah, Ichigo is heavily focused on the branch attack. His first dupe does actually help him out with, or the first two dupes, should I say, does help him out with his crits. Enhances it by what, 30%, which is beautiful. And then on top of that, his debuff, where the enemy has the crescent moon applied to them, allowing Ichigo to do more damage. That does also get a little bit of enhancement on the second skill. Sorry, second dupe, my bad. Second dupe. So again, more things to allow him to do more damage, but then everything eventually falls back into line on his branch attack. So between the two boys, I have been experiencing to get more damage out of Ichigo, of course. Now, I'm just gonna keep it as plain as simple. There's no two ways about it. I will be focusing on Ichigo, and reason being is because, well, in a span of such a short period of time, Ichigo is able to apply the most damage. That, and you can utilize his biggest hit at the right time, if that makes sense. So again, coming back to, let's say, the Hitsugaya event, Ichigo right now is a bit of a cheat code, as I like to say, because when it comes to the initial three characters, you use Ichigo, you go into the Bankai state, you utilize his skills, which have been enhanced and do a stupid amount of damage. The consistency of the amount of branch attacks that you can apply in a short period of time actually outdoes to what Hitsugaya will provide you in terms of damage wise. That's how. That's what really separates them, and what I've seen is that with the Ichigo, you can kind of plan your attack, still do a good amount of damage, and then in terms of doing your best move, you kind of save that for another time if need be. And then of course with all the buffs that you can kind of pile up too, it will make it so that the ultimate itself is far more superior. Because obviously with Hitsugaya, the most I have managed, because obviously nuking is another thing which I'm really a fan of, as you guys know, especially to those that knows back in the Blazing days, I am a fan of my nuking power. And so with where I've managed to get my Hitsugaya, he manages, well, the most I've managed to get this man is just under 2.5 mil in terms of his nuking ultimate, of course. Hey, we got it, nice. Ichigo, the most I've managed to obtain with that man is 5.5 million. So yeah, right now Ichigo is looking very, very strong, very, very superior. Not to say that Hitsugaya is horrible. Obviously Hitsugaya is vital due to the fact that he is pretty much the only powerhouse for the blue typing. So that kind of gives him the upper hand on why he's I would say a vital character for the game itself, because of course how typing work, and he's kind of the main man for that specific typing. So I just want to clarify that it is not all doom and gloomy, but if I had to focus on one, Ichigo right now is going to be the favorable one for that, of course. Now, with all that being said, Ichigo himself, if you have the whole red mono team, or just the red mono team in general, or even with WIILL, you can pretty much get through. As it stands so far, with the amount of content that they've added in the beta, you can use that combination to get through practically everything. And as crazy as it is, damn! Well, oh, the my heart was about to sink. I'm like, what the hell? And then I realized, oh wait, it's the game mode where we get a ton of buffs. Yeah, alright. I was about to go, wait a minute, wait, 11, what? Alright, yeah, just to clarify, yeah, in this event, yeah, we get a ton of buffs and whatnot, so the damage that you guys are going to be seeing, it's going to be so off, so just, yeah. Anywho, so coming back to the boys themselves, yeah, so I just kind of wanted to give you, so by the way, this is Aizen support. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, giving Hitsugaya some love, you know, it's not all doom and gloomy, of course. And I will say with Hitsugaya, when he has his little bit of enhanced attacks, they do it, like, it does hit hard when his enhanced is pretty nice. Or once you build up that spiritual pressure, of course. But again, just coming back between him and Ichigo, there's just more burst damage within Ichigo in a short period of time that can accumulate into a disgusting amount, more so over Hitsugaya, and obviously in situations and scenarios with what the game has offered us with events and whatnot, you know, time is key at times, right? Things have to be done as soon as possible, and I have found it that Ichigo is such a breeze to do it with, because of how disgusting his ultimate, that whole, like, I've said it before and I'll say it again, that holification state right now in the game is bar none broken to an absolute T. I'll give Hitsugaya his credit, but I'm sorry, that holification state right now, that is a huge seller. So when it comes to the official release of this game, that is going to be chased so hard, and if we can capitalize and maximize on maxing out Ichigo, of course, because you've got to keep in mind, in that holification state, and the thing that really sets apart Ichigo is the fact that he's got disgusting amount of branch attacks, because you do your Gatsugo Tensha, branch attack, you deflect, branch attack, holification comes in, branch attack, skill, branch attack, skill, branch attack, deflect. That alone is actually a branch attack itself, which is pretty disgusting, and you can actually get an increase of 100% on that. Then it leads into another branch attack. So that's what, 7, potentially 8 branch attacks, like in between attacks itself. So this is what I mean when it comes to Ichigo. There's a lot on the table with the span of damage that he can apply in such a short period of time. So that's what I want, that's what I'm going to go for, and I know for a fact that upon the official release of this game, he will make things a lot easier, just kind of, as truthfully as it is, manhandling the game at the very beginning, just burning and just brushing through everything. Just to clarify, when it comes to typing bosses that the game has, event-wise of course, he powers through all. That orange typing, blue typing, what's the one? Yellow typing. He just burns through it all. Now, the only thing that can disrupt my plan of action going forward in terms of on who I'm going to be maxing out and focusing on and whatnot is if Ichigo and Hitsugaya are available day one, because then at that point it does raise the question, okay, well, we know that there's an Aizen event happening, so we know Aizen, by the looks of it, could be a playable character very soon. Kenpachi was available back in the previous testing phase of this game, so we know for a fact that Kenpachi is in the mix of things, and I want to know where Kenpachi is going to be at, because that man, I've said it before and I'll say it again, he's going to be a whole different ball game when it comes to DPS power on whatever typing that he's going to be. I think with Kenpachi, the fact that they're savoring him and they're rehauling him and redoing him, something tells me that that man is probably going to be coming in, and as much as I love Ichigo in his holification state, I think Kenpachi is about to change the whole game. I think a whole new power bar is going to be set with that man really. That's what I'm feeling right now, and that's the vibe that I'm getting. So, you know, things could change. It just depends on how things are in terms of the official release, on what direction they decide. I'm hoping that they stick with the releases of what they've shown us within the beta. If it does, then I'm going to stick to my gun, but if things change up day one, with the releases, then yeah, it's we're gonna have to we're definitely gonna have to be catering to with some Kenpachi, because I think Kenpachi is gonna be absolutely insane. Nah, that's just more what I'm getting. But anywho, there we go. We are done. Just doing the last bit of fights before we end it, and yeah, get my final thoughts on this game.